Hi, this is Mike Henriksen from OSCON 2015 in Portland, Oregon. I'm here with David Kelnar. David, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
So you're with Vector.
That's right.
And Vector works with Matrix to some degree, or
so we're building on top of the Open Matrix protocol.
Okay. And what are you building on top of the Open Matrix protocol?
So a brand new, fully open source communication and collaboration tool that we're announcing here today, and it's got some incredible benefits. It's designed to address the challenges that we see in the market today, challenges of proprietary closed software, of lack of security, and of lack of interoperability. So it's designed to be an open, secure, and interoperable communication tool that will improve the way that people communicate, and that's with both their colleagues at work, their families and their communities. So this is a tool that we've developed that people can use and enables them to use type chat and voice over IP and video chat and a really broad, rich range of ways to communicate with their colleagues, their suppliers and partners in a work context, but then also at home with their families, easy, seamless communication.
So you're integrating basically all of our different communication modes into a unified solution?
Yeah, so we are one of those unified solutions. We sit on top of the Open Matrix protocol, and it's Matrix itself that as an open architecture gives those advantages. We can sit on top and we can leverage those benefits and provide a great user interface and experience on top of that. So there's all different kinds of ways and some amazing and creative different uses to which people are putting the Matrix protocol. We're one of those solutions on top of that, which is a tool for communication.
So what inspired you to go after this thorny communication conundrum that we have? Because we all have like too many pieces of information flying at us and people trying to reach us and schedules and texts and all that stuff. So what made you want to solve that problem?
Well, it's really interesting, right? Because there are dozens of communication tools today, right? They're used by millions of people. So what's not to like, right? I think there are three problems with the communication tools that are out there at the moment. And the first is lack of control. And that's because the solutions out there today are closed source, that is, and proprietary. And that means that you can't audit and control your data. You have to use whatever licensing model that the vendor stipulates for that. And also, there's no guarantee you can run it in the way you want. So that's the first problem, okay, is lack of control. The second problem is one of loss of data sovereignty and security. So we know that most big companies are really uncomfortable losing sovereignty over their own data. And yet, because most communication tools today are offered on a hosted-only basis, they're forced to do that. And more broadly, security is often really poor with these solutions. And that's because there's a lack of end-to-end encryption in these tools today. So that's the second problem, security. And the third problem is one of fragmentation. You kind of alluded to this a bit, which is lack of interoperability among the tools that we have today is splitting our conversations into thousands of tiny fragments. I mean, if you just think, right, there is no way today I can have a seamless, unified, rich conversation with all my partners and suppliers at work. And at home, I mean, think about it. If I want to get a piece of information from a conversation I had with a friend, I have to try and remember, was that conversation done via SMS, email, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, IRC, so there are so many. There's dozens of these. So there are these three problems: lack of control, lack of security, and fragmentation. That's what we designed to produce an open, secure, and interoperable solution to solve.
So, and open is going to help make it more secure because you're building a community around this as well? Is that?
I think it's all interrelated, right? Which is one thing. I think the openness that comes by it being open source partly gives people the flexibility and control to do any customizations they want and any integrations they want and so on. So I think that's one benefit. The security comes from actually some of the security functions that are built in, like the end-to-end encryption that we have the intention to build in. We're doing a security review at the moment before we actually make that live. We want to make sure we're doing that in a responsible way, so we're being careful on that. But I think it's the combination of the two. And it's also what's really interesting is how these things fit together, right? So one of the advantages of building on top of Matrix is that it's a distributed protocol. And in this case, it means that messages that are sent between people are stored securely by both the sender and the recipient. And the fact they exist in more than one place in itself actually helps you have much better resilience for your data. You don't have a single point of failure. So there's all kinds of advantages. There's security, there's getting a community behind you, there's no single point of failure, there's a ton of benefits.
Excellent. So how have you been finding the conversations here at OSCON this week? I mean, are people curious what you're doing, or do they know you already, or what is it?
Well, so it's been fantastic. So we had a lot of interest at the talk this morning. The guys from Matrix, the platform that we're building on top of, are having a lot of interest. We've had some great conversations at the booth. I think what's exciting people is that I think people share the frustration with the kind of pain that we've described, those problems of fragmentation. So we can all relate to that, right?
Absolutely.
We live it every day. So we've had some great conversations, and also, I mean, it's interesting. We are one of I think about 20 companies building on top of Matrix. There's some other really big guys there. There's over, I think, about 150 Matrix servers live at the moment. There's a lot of companies. There's some employees at Ericsson, at Sipgate, Metaswitch, who are experimenting with Matrix as well. So we are a part of a broader ecosystem here that, if we all do our bit, I think can achieve something really incredible, because that's kind of what's at stake here, right? We get this right, we can revolutionize the way that we communicate, both at home and also at work.
So we all do better when we all do better.
Exactly right.
Yep. I look forward to this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.